Okay, today's video is about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Fear is like I feel like the strongest emotion, at least that I recall feeling all throughout recovery, was fear. Fear, 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 fear. Doubt was definitely like one that would be stemmed from when I felt fear, then doubt would come. But that fear was so powerful in getting me to stay stuck, and getting me to question, and getting me to rationalize, and getting me to make up excuses as to why I couldn't do things. And the excuses that I would come up with as to why I couldn't tackle these fears were so believable, because they had to be. Otherwise, I would like to think I would be smart enough to be like, that's stupid, this is an excuse. So it had to be like really sneaky and really, really convincing to me. And so as years went on and I had my eating disorder, it was like things would just roll out of my mouth that were just a load of crap, essentially. You know, like someone would say, do you want a cookie? Oh no, I just ate. Even though I didn't. I didn't even have to have a thought process of like, oh no, what are you gonna say? You should say you just ate even though you didn't. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Oh no, thanks. It just would just spit out of my mouth. Or, oh, do you want some of this? Oh no, thank you, I don't like that. Without even like having to think, do I actually like that? Actually, I do like that. I'm lying about that. And so it was like fear would just make me do really silly things, and it allowed me to believe really stupid excuses that I believed to be true over time. And when people would challenge me with it or question me on it, oh my gosh, like you learn really fast not to question the things and the excuses that I would make up with, because I would bite your head off if you even tried to challenge it. Again, because I was so convinced that I was right. And that was a very humbling thing to experience as I recovered. Looking back, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said I didn't like cookies. I can't believe I said I didn't like sour cream. Why did I say I hated peanut butter? Like there were just so many things I would just say I didn't like. And then as I started liking them, I had to kind of own up to the fact that I was a liar and that I was really mentally unwell. But my point is that fear is a really powerful emotion, and it will keep you from doing lots of kinds of things in your life that are uncomfortable, that you're not sure of the outcome. I have probably never had to do anything that was as fearful as recovering in my life, but occasionally there are things I'm like, oh, this causes me some fear, but I'm going to do it anyways. But nothing comes even close to what I had experienced in recovery. So good news would be that if you can get through recovery, most likely you'll never have to encounter anything as fearful. I honestly think that like jumping out of an airplane would be easier. I believe that swimming with sharks would be easier. I believe what else would be a really, really scary thing that would freak me out? Like walking through a desert of snakes. Honestly, I'm not kidding. Like I probably feel like if I were to do any of those things, it wouldn't even invoke the kind of fear that I experienced when I was in recovery. So the reason I thought of making this video, I'm a little long-winded today. I'm a little tired today too. I went to bed way too late last night. So I feel like my thoughts are going a little slower today. But the reason that I wanted to do this video was my daughter is on a mountain biking team and my husband is one of the coaches, and they went to practice last night and they came back and it was like a total hailstorm, like rain and wind. And it was really, really like intense cold weather. All of a sudden out of nowhere, it just started pouring rain and then hail. And she came home and she said that one of the other coaches is talking to them about when there's a storm, what a buffalo does versus what a cow does. And when there's a storm, a cow tries to run away from the storm. It's just constantly trying to chase or run away from, not chase, it's trying to beat the storm by running away from it. Whereas a buffalo turns around and runs straight into the storm, and it passes the storm. It runs straight into it, and then it gets past it, and the storm is past it, and it's done. It's free. No more storm, because they just went right through it. Whereas the cow is constantly running and running and running and running until finally the storm catches up with them. And I thought, oh, this is perfect for recovery, because what are you going to be in recovery? You're going to be the cow that's constantly running away from the fear or running away from the storm because you're scared and you don't know what else to do? Or are you going to be smarter than the storm or the fear and be like, I know that if I turn around and face this head on, that I'll get through it and it'll get easier and the storm will be behind me. And that's exactly what you've got to do in recovery. So that's my little story, or I guess analogy, that I'm going to use today in terms of fear and what you experience when you're in recovery. Don't let that emotion consume you. Don't let that emotion take away all logic. Don't let that emotion take away all of your future goals and your whys as to why you want to recover. Just label it as, this is fear, and I'm experiencing fear, and that's okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get through it. I can be scared and also know that I'm going to be okay. I can be scared and not know the complete and total outcome of what might happen, but I know I'll get through whatever it is. And you have to have that kind of determination when you are in recovery and when you're actively going against your eating disorder, because every time you do that, you're going to feel really scared. But the more that you do it, the more that you run into the storm, the faster that that storm is going to be over. It's going to be behind you. It's going to be past. But you can't just keep running away from it. It's going to eventually catch up. Okay? So that's my message today. Have a good day. Bye.